Welcome, everyone, to another audio podcast episode of Nerdstrodamus. I'm Dr. Pants.
I'm Lambo.
And I'm Slowtad.
And we're here to give you all the info for August 2019.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. So let's dive head first. Lambo, you and I have been doing news updates every week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
that's kind of our new thing.
It is. So you can actually check that out on the Nerdstrodamus YouTube page. We've been posting those. Typically, it's on the weekend or the following Monday for the news for the previous week. But we do have some stuff to talk about and a nice discussion to happen. So let's talk about something that happened like within the past couple of days. Bethesda, because QuakeCon is happening. Bethesda announced Doom 1, 2, and 3 all released on all major consoles.
Mm-hmm. And that's cool.
Yeah, so Xbox One, PS4, Switch. They were already on PCs.
Yeah. Stadia?
Well, Stadia's not out yet, so they
I mean, you can still announce it.
Well, but they all released, and I immediately went and looked on Switch. Doom 1 and 2 are $5 a piece. Doom 3 is $10, so you can get all three for $20.
It's not terrible. That's like a standard collection.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, like, I didn't care to get Doom 3. I've played it before.
The collection of mono was 40.
Yeah, I know.
For the same number.
And it's going to be 50 physical.
Yeah.
So, I had enough gold coins to get Doom 1 for free, which has local co-op.
Nice.
1 to 4 players.
Oh, 1 to 4.
That's what it said when I looked
awesome.
at the
Yeah,
database.
let's do that.
Which is just really cool.
Yeah.
But the thing that the internet immediately latched onto, and this is what I want to talk about, is when you boot up the classic Doom games, it immediately says you have to log into a Bethesda.net account to play this game.
Okay.
Which the internet freaked out. There were memes putting it on every other game, and they're like, why do we have to do this? I saw so many threads of people going, wait, I have to log into Bethesda.net? Well, I was going to buy this. Not now. And I had to stop and look at it like, it's a one-time login.
Yeah.
That's going to stop you from buying this game.
I mean, I have to log into all kinds of weird crap anytime I download an app on my phone. Anytime I don't know. I feel like this is pretty.
You want to win a
standard.
giveaway? Sign in with your Facebook and Twitter and your Instagram, and then vote
and
for all
access
three.
to all your friends' stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever.
And the thing is, it was a one-time login. When you first boot up the game, it says log in this one time, and you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a login,
you
could just make it there. You doom it. And a lot of people were wondering, like, why. I thought maybe it was anti-piracy, because particularly on the Switch, you can't get online with pirated games. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was preventing people from pirating them.
I mean, I really don't think that has much to do with it.
Well, and yesterday Bethesda tweeted out then that update on our classic Doom releases. The Bethesda Net login requirement was included for the Slayers Club to reward members for playing the classic Doom games.
Okay.
The login should be optional, and we are working on changing the requirement to optional now. So, like, they're making it optional.
So they make it so you can just hit skip.
Right.
In other words.
But my thing is still, like, who cares? It's a one-time login to play this game. Why is it turning people away from playing the game?
There's a lot of weird things going on out there in the world in general. Like, Facebook is about to pay $5 million for, allowing apps to, like, access everybody else's stuff. So if you download a certain app, all of your friends are actually at risk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's not even that just like your personal information. It's literally the personal information of every one of your friends.
But at that point, on Facebook, like, how personal is it if it's like, I mean, yeah, you
can
lock your accounts so, like, certain people
but it would be all the
can't see
stuff
them,
that you would personally have access to in your friends' accounts.
Yeah, so it's already something that's technically public.
And
so it's a gray area.
Yeah, there's been a lot of just like phobia built around having to log into things, And the gamers are a little bit more up on this stuff than most other people. So,
but it's still Bethesda.net, and like on the Switch, what are they gonna get from my Switch? I can't do anything on that thing.
Your player data.
Yeah.
Great. Find out that I've played Xenoblade 2 for 130 hours. Great. Thanks. Let's turn to something a little more pleasant. Mm-hmm. Super Mario Maker 2, they doubled the amount of levels that anybody can upload.
Woo.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was a limitation on how many you can
There
make.
was, and again, the internet was furious about this.
So, this makes no sense to me. So in Mario Maker 1, they actually started a really slow rollout. Originally, you were only able to upload, I think, 4 to 8 levels in the beginning.
Right,
it was a very small number.
But it wasn't restricted by Nintendo. It was restricted by the game, because as you got more stars and more medals, it upped itself.
It was sort of like a not an honor system, but like a merit system.
Right.
Like, as you uploaded stuff that people liked more, they gave you the ability to upload
like an
levels.
incentive, like make a good level and you get to make more good
and
levels.
It wasn't that difficult. I mean, like, I think almost all of us had a couple of, like, things that I'm pretty sure we could all upload at least 16 or 32 levels by the end of it.
Yeah, we were all doing
and it was
well.
not difficult to get there. And this game started off right away. 32
Everybody
levels.
could do 32,
Oh,
but
Yeah.
a lot of people were upset because they're like, oh, I can only upload 32?
All right, get back to us in 3 months or 4 months when you actually make that many actual levels and not
That are
like,
good.
Yeah,
that are good
right.
too. Like, don't just
Make a
spam
flat
it.
plane
Yeah.
and you can beat it in 30 seconds for the easy completion. Like, make 32 of them.
But it's been less than a month since Mario Maker 2 came
Yeah,
out,
definitely.
and they doubled it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's great.
It could just be a server thing at that point.
There's been a lot of people thinking that this might be a precursor to them creating a map editor, like that you can make your own Mario maps, and that would be really, really helpful because then if you had like a large plethora of levels to upload, you could upload many maps worth.
Or even like a theme. Like
Yeah,
if you make 8 levels that are like desert theme or something, all in one certain video game aesthetic, you have your own world. You can make your own castle at the end, and that'd be cool.
People are already doing like themed levels.
Oh, totally.
Where they're all connected, which is really cool. I would like to see them do kind of a world system.
Even if it's just like Mario 1 with 4, like 1-1, 2, 3 castle.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh, I played one this morning. It was really difficult. It was just a Bowser fight, but it was like extra difficult and extra long, and it was labeled 6-4, so it was inside somebody's game that they were building.
That's
cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Let's talk more about Nintendo because, hey, we do that a lot on here. So another thing that Nintendo got flack for, and they came back and appeased everybody, is Joy-Con drift.
Have either of you guys experienced it yet?
No.
The only thing I get is my red one, which is the left one, dies faster than the right, but that's because it has the red, what is it, the red light sensor or whatever it's called?
The IR sensor?
The IR
I
sensor.
thought that was in the right one.
Is it the right? Whatever one has the sensor in it, one dies faster than the other one, but it's
Okay.
most likely because of that. That's all I've ever
experienced. I've had a little bit of like just kind of desyncing,
Yeah. Almost like you unplug the controller, blow it, plug it back in for like old style stuff. Yeah.
My original set of Joy-Cons, I did have the left Joy-Con like connectivity issues. Like I had a lot of issue with that, but my new set, I really don't have a problem with that anymore. But I haven't gotten drift.
Yeah. Now this is like something that went back. I remember on the Nintendo 64, that was the first system where I remember this being an issue.
Yep.
If you turn the system on with like
the
control joystick like moved even like an inch or like a centimeter or like a tiniest little bit in a direction, it would like drift in that direction.
Well, it zeroed the system to be like, oh, that's the normal position.
Because that was how you calibrated it. Now they are saying that like and it seems like the majority of people could actually fix theirs if they updated and calibrated their controllers, newly. But I guess there are some people who are experiencing issues beyond that. And I guess that's the issue.
I haven't seen it, but because of all this, there was a class action lawsuit against Nintendo for it because there were so many problems. Nintendo this past week said we're offering free repairs. You don't even need a proof of purchase for it. They will repair your Joy-Cons for free, and anybody who had previous repairs and had to pay for it, they will reimburse you for it.
Yep, and they had a ticket system kind of set up so that if you just want that, you can go get it.
The only thing that stinks about that is I know with previous repairs where you had to pay it and send them in and come back, you had to send the whole system.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't just leave the screen and then play with your extra pair of Joy-Cons or something. You had to send the whole thing in.
Right.
So then you're out of your Switch for like 2 weeks. I mean, theoretically, not theoretically, but actually it doesn't mean that much. But if you really love your Switch and that's the only thing you've got, then you're out of a game for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it's like now getting free repairs on them.
Right, I don't know now. I know it used to be that way. I don't know if they'll be like, just send in your Joy-Cons, that's all we need. We'll hook it up to our own dock.
Yeah, I mean, when I got mine fixed, they actually didn't want my Joy-Cons at all. They just wanted the system.
Well, you were having a problem.
Well, yeah, yours was the actual.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I should have checked, but I mean, nonetheless, it's still really nice that they're offering that because, in all honesty, like, I had problems with my PS3, PS4 back in the day, and like trying to get that fixed was ridiculously expensive. A lot of money. You had the Xbox 360 with its red ringing, and that was a pain in the butt. Which actually brings us to our discussion, which is previous systems that have had that seemed perfect or whatnot, that there weren't big fixes for and whatnot. What would you fix about them?
So let's start with like, let's throw one out there that, we all enjoy our PS4 right now. So, we already have a bunch of iterations, and they've reiterated it a few times, of course, already with the Slim and now the Pro. But still, even now today, what would you guys fix about the PS4?
Well, funnily enough, I was actually one of the, I think it was a 0.04% people that had, it was known as the blue light of death instead of the red light of death when I picked up my PlayStation. So when I got it, when I first got the PlayStation, got it from Amazon, it got lost in shipment, and I'm doing air quotes because that's the excuse they gave me. So either they sold too many for pre-orders, didn't have enough, or someone just stole it in the warehouse, which is common when new systems come out. So never got it from Amazon. I used my credit card to get $550 GameStop gift cards because I didn't have the cash, and I had an Amazon card. I didn't have like an actual credit card. So I wait like 13 hours in front of GameStop for Black Friday 2 weeks later, get my console, I'm first in line, I go back, doesn't turn on. Just a blue light for the power light. I'm like, well, what the heck just happened? So I look it up. Apparently there's like threads of people who also have it, and I see like articles of like 0.4% of people have this problem. I'm like, of course that's me. So I don't know exactly what caused the error. I never really did much research, but they sent it in. They sent me it back or a new one back for free, but that would be something that needs to be like corrected. I know it's such a small percent, but maybe just testing each unit that comes out, maybe, especially for a new console. Like the red ring of death for 360 went on during its whole life cycle.
It did. It did drop significantly.
Yeah, when they had new ones,
but it was still an issue.
Right, and I had that too with mine. I had a refurbished one that came from a red ring of death, and it still got it later on down the road. So like clearly something. Xbox's was like an overheating thing, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
And then I don't know what caused PlayStation's, but then there's like issues of bugs that got into PlayStations for a while. Like people were finding like cockroaches or some other bugs that got inside the console.
Yeah, some bugs are attracted to the like circuitry and stuff. There's actually there's a specific type of small fly called thunder flies that actually no seriously. I had one in the screen of my TV.
Oh wow.
The bezel, like there wasn't quite enough like seal between it. It crawled in there, and it was like right at the bottom of my screen. It was like really tiny. If you weren't looking for it,
did it bother you every time you looked at it?
Yes. Thankfully, I have a new TV, so not.
Sony, stop making your consoles delicious.
Yeah,
that's my fix.
I'm gonna say there's an issue with controllers. I've owned a couple of PlayStation 4 controllers, and I've had like stupid problems with every one of them.
I've had one completely break. I bought a new one from Walmart, put my old one in the box, and returned it to Walmart.
Monsters. But no, like just recently, like my newer one that I bought, because my old one I had like one of the original DS4s where it like the I don't know, like the rubber on the joysticks like wore off real nastily. Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's
I've seen it.
And then they improved the joysticks afterwards. There's more of like a grit to them and everything. And now like two of the buttons on it, like the L1 and the R2, neither of them work.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And it happened really, really like fast. It was after I beat Spider-Man PS4. I don't know if I was hitting those buttons like crazy.
Just switching between here.
But I really wasn't playing the game, and I don't throw hundreds of hours into games every week like some people do, Yeah. But man, I just I played a 20-hour Spider-Man game and it like broke it. So that's what I would say I could fix about the PS4. Something with that.
I've never had an issue with controllers other than my own fault. But two things I would fix.
Yeah.
Number one, data management.
Okay. Yeah.
I hate when I have like all this stuff on my PS4, and I know they've upgraded to like 1 terabyte. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive on that thing.
Same.
But then it goes to update, and when it updates, even though I have enough space for that particular update, it tells me there's not enough space. And it's because it wants to make sure there's space for the whole thing, like the whole game and whatnot. So I have to go and clear stuff out, even though I don't need that much extra space. That drives me crazy because then I have to delete like a bunch of big things that I'm not going to want to re-download because it takes forever.
Yeah, that happened a lot for Destiny 1.
I was just going to say, and 2. Destiny 2 is now up to like 80 gigs or something like that. If you need an update, you need to make sure you have 80 gigs.
But you need to make sure you have almost 160 gigs
at
free.
this point now, yeah.
Because they want the whole like extra clone of the thing to be free in there too.
Even though you're not downloading that much.
No.
It'll be like maybe 4, 5, up to 10 gigs, which I usually have free on there.
Oh, yeah.
But then when it's like, oh, it needs 160, even 80 gigs, and I'm like, well, there goes Doom. Click.
There goes Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Don't even think about deleting like Red Dead Redemption off or whatever, because that's going to take like 4 hours to put back on.
Exactly.
You know?
And I don't mean like it's going to take that long to re-download this stuff, but if I want to play it, like I've got to think like an hour or two ahead and be like, okay, download it now.
I got to do this overnight and I'll play it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Nintendo even has the archiving option, which I think is awesome. Yeah. You know, because it deletes off all of like the
excess data,
but then keeps all of the important things on there. Which at least is okay.
Yeah, because when you delete some stuff off PlayStation, unless you have the backup in the cloud of your save data, it just gets rid of everything. The other thing I fixed about the PS4, and I'm pretty sure the Pro does this, but I'm not gonna count that as a reiteration of it because technically it is an upgraded version of it. My PS4 is loud, and I know other people have this.
I've heard a lot of people complain.
Like when you play certain games, like it sounds like a jet engine.
Like I've heard that.
When I play Doom, holy crap, it is loud. That fan is going like crazy. And some people said, "Oh, keep it clean and whatnot." I have. I dust the crap out of that thing, and it is still loud. And like, I don't want to get a PS4 Pro just for that, just to like quiet it down. So I wish they would have like fixed that problem.
Yeah, a lot of people like it's a dust issue. Some people it's just whatever. For me, it is a certain game thing.
Yeah, it's
certain games will do it.
Yep.
And it's only it usually is like disc related. It's usually nothing that's like on the system for me.
It's still on the system for me because I have Doom downloaded and it still does it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But it's Doom, God of War, Uncharted 4 did it a lot. I wonder if it's just like really high end, graphically powerful games too. Because I mean the games that usually happens to are ones that are pumping out a lot of crazy stuff.
And the other weird thing that happened to mine is I have a weird issue with my whatever loads the discs in it.
Oh yeah.
So there's these two sets of screws on the side of the PlayStation, and I've never like dropped my PlayStation, done anything weird with it, but there's a crack right where my left screw is. So there's no way I'm ever gonna completely fix it. I could screw it in as much as I want and whatever, and it basically I put the disc in and it sits there and I have to like nudge it in a little bit.
Eat your food.
Yeah, and then when it comes out, it like goes like really slow, and every time I put a disc in and out, I just like pray it's gonna actually go in and out.
I remember we were gonna stream one night.
Yeah,
that's when we like discovered it, and we looked it up online, and it says, "Oh, tighten this screw," and we did, and it did.
Yeah, but I noticed right where the screw is in, there's a nice crack.
I wonder if you could epoxy that or something.
Maybe, but really, even then it would have to be kind of held in place pretty well,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you squish it together, let the epoxy sit and set, then maybe it would be fine. But
just one quick shout out for PlayStation VR, that veer to the left thing or veer
drift?
to the right, the drift, awful. They need I'm sure the newer models don't have that. But I got 2 separate VRs. They both do it whenever you're in like the cinematic mode for games that don't use VR.
Mine does it too, though.
It's
like
awful.
after enough time, at least.
Yeah.
Like it takes a little bit. I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3 in my VR set for like a little while.
Yeah.
And then I started noticing like, oh, now like
I'm looking far to the left now when I'm sitting.
It's really really annoying.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Stop making consoles while watching Fast and Furious 3.
Let's throw another beloved console our way. The Nintendo Wii. What would you fix?
Make it HD.
The Nintendo Wii.
Make it HD.
Those flaps that cover the GameCube ports.
Oh yeah.
Make them stronger.
What?
I don't think I've ever met someone who's owned a Nintendo Wii that those weren't just broken off.
Yeah, mine's broken off. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
my goodness. And it stinks because then you can't like ever trade it in or whatever for full credit.
Right.
It's technically broken.
They count it as damaged.
Yeah.
They didn't even make any replacements or anything for it. So if it's gone, it's gone.
To be fair, I mean, it doesn't affect the system at all. It just looks kind of junky, and I agree.
Well, it affects its retail price pretty much.
Yeah.
I think you kind of hit the one for the HD because it was released in the era of other HD systems.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was not HD.
The fun fact though is it sold better than
everything.
It sold better than both of them. Yeah.
Literally everything. I think the Wii could have used some sort of tablet device that was wireless that you could just sit down and you could use that. Yeah, it'd be great for menus and, you know, if someone was watching TV.
And it's because the screen just for you, we could call it the Wii U. Call Nintendo.
Fix it all.
Wait, it was a thing already? Oh no. Can I make one other complaint about the Wii?
Yeah, go for it.
Please. I really, really wish there were more games for it. That there was an option to turn the motion controls off and play it with a regular controller.
Yeah, or the regular controllers they made wasn't just the crappy Super Nintendo like plug-in to the controller, like a Pro controller for the Wii. Well, was there any?
Yeah, there was.
There was one.
Really? There was. Yeah,
but it was still essentially the same size. It was
it added handles and added handles.
Oh, right,
but in all honesty, that controller feels a lot better than the classic one.
Yeah, I like the classic one though.
But if you're playing Xenoblade or like I don't know, maybe I don't know who's playing a shooter on the Wii, but I don't know if you want to play with a Super Nintendo.
Well, most shooters worked well with the nunchuck and the.
It did, but I'd like the option to just play with a regular controller. And in all fairness, Xenoblade, you could there weren't motion controls. You just played it with the Wii remote and nunchuck. That doesn't bother me. I will always go back to this. I cannot finish Skyward Sword. The motion controls kill it for me.
Well, that's like the biggest complaint against it, one of the biggest ones.
And yet you get
it even had the motion plus.
I know, and people yet praise that game for being the best thing ever, and I can't do it. And I feel like I'm a little upset that I can't finish a Zelda game because
you should be, because it actually was pretty decent.
Yeah, except
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, except the controls were
What?
They were freaking garbage.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, family-friendly channel, you know. But
no. Mine's also controller related. I know that it was that time period, and not everything had like a rechargeable battery in it or anything. And I know they made rechargeable controllers with rechargeable batteries and stuff. But when you put a new set of batteries in that thing and you let it sit for even a week or two, like because the cat nudges it, because if you have it in a bag, because wherever, the batteries die by the next time you pick it up.
Yep, because anything that nudged it immediately turned the controller on. Like, it should have just been you had to press the home button or a specific button to turn it on. Like the PlayStation.
Now I've gotten into the habit of every time I throw batteries in it to like play it for like 5 minutes or an hour, whenever we do, I take them out and I throw them in something else immediately.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's... if you're playing it all the time, they last, but... Man, if you're not playing it all the time, like I put new batteries in every time.
That is my biggest problem with the Xbox One.
Oh, really?
Xbox One controllers, the first generation, I don't know if the new ones put them in or not, but you still needed AA batteries.
Really?
I just spent $30 2 weeks ago to get a rechargeable kit because they eat through batteries for one, and for two, it's this generation and you're still using batteries for your controllers.
Yeah, well, we got to think about the animals.
So when I worked at GameStop, one of my favorite things was the Xbox 360, of course, had 2 AA batteries, or you could buy the Microsoft rechargeable kit, which was pretty nice, but people would always buy the Nikon ones. The Nikon ones did not work. You charged them and you got like an hour out of them, and that was it. And we always had to tell people, like, don't buy that. Buy the Microsoft ones. And they're like, well, why? It's like $20 more. And I'm like, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you had Sony with the PlayStation 3 and their controllers they were rechargeable and like it was just nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean,
a lot of them are dead now. Because I gave my brother my PS3 and
my controllers.
Yeah, they went the bad way.
I actually went and bought an afterglow that takes AA's to play because my DualShock doesn't work anymore, and it's really hard to find a DualShock for a decent price anymore for the PS3.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have the really crappy like USB plug-in ones. I have 2 of those. I mean, it's not like I'm playing it very often, so I'd rather pay $15 for one of those than $50 for a PS3 controller.
Fun fact: you can use a PS4 controller.
You can.
It has to be plugged in. Mm-hmm. But you can use one. So if you have both and your PS3 controller dies, you can plug in your PS4 controller and it will work.
Which is nice.
It is nice. It's a weird little like Easter egg in there. Mm-hmm. So I guess something's backwards compatible on the PS4.
Something?
Yeah.
Although is that backwards compatible or forward compatible?
However you want to think about it.
I don't know. But
yeah. Now let's upgrade that just a little bit more and let's think about the Switch. We all own Switches. We all like our Switches.
Yep.
What did you fix about the Switch?
The price of the Joy-Cons. My goodness. Make an off. I know they have the
there
Pro controllers that are
off-brand.
off-brand.
Yeah, there
off-brand
are.
Joy-Cons?
There are off-brand Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Really?
Specifically, Hori made one that has a legitimate D-pad.
I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is you can't use it separate. It has to be hooked onto the Switch. No, there should be off-brand Joy-Cons, but I think it has to do with all the stuff that Nintendo added into them. Because the reason the Hori one doesn't work outside of it is I don't think it has the motion control built in. But I agree with you to an extent that, like, yeah, the controllers are ridiculous. But seriously, aren't PS4 controllers like 65 normally?
No, well, they're normally 60. However, there's been a lot of sales all year round that they usually go for 40 or 50.
Okay.
Yeah, if you hit up the right sale on a PlayStation when you're not spending that much money anymore.
Okay.
And the Nintendo ones, I mean, the classic controllers aren't that bad. I got
the classic.
I got my wired
ones,
one for I think it was $29.99.
Right, and I got a wired one too. So.
And you can get an off-brand wireless one, and they're $50, and they're really nice.
Yeah. But I actually saw just when I was in GameStop last. It was really sad. I'm so sorry for GameStop. But when I was in there last, they were just selling a left Joy-Con for $35. It was insane.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that was like more than most other used in anything.
Right, you can get a whole used controller for that. You can get the wired controller for less than a used one Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one thing I would fix personally.
I mean, a lot of people bag on the Switch for being sort of like backward, or like just older hardware and stuff. But like the actual hardware itself, the control, I mean, everything's really nice on it.
Yeah,
and
it works
and very modern. But yeah, you get what you pay for there too.
Another thing I guess would be I've never used it for Mario Party, but that you can have the two Switches like next to each other in that sense.
Yeah.
Something to make that easier, because I imagine it's like, okay, we're playing this special mini game. Get off of your seat, pick up the Switch, put it on the table, the nearest table you can find. Get your other Switch, turn it on. I don't know how that makes it seamless.
Actually, so in order to do that, because we did do it, you both already have to be playing Mario Party.
Okay.
Like on your individual systems.
Playing two separate games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you both need a copy of Mario Party.
So, well, I meant like you're playing two separate Mario Party games, and then you just
you both have to have it booted up, and then you search for somebody else playing it.
Oh, so you're playing the same game on two Switches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But can that only be done in mobile mode then? Not
yeah,
docked?
you can't do that dock.
100%.
Because in order for it to know like how the screens are touching, like when you set it up, you have to draw your finger across the screen so it knows how it's connected.
Okay.
Which, in all honesty, like that,
it worked well.
It did work well, and I didn't.
But
have
it was
a problem
weird.
With it. Yeah.
And there were only like 4 or 5 games to play.
Yeah.
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 So it as an inclusion, it was more of like an interesting idea and like demonstration of the technology rather than like an actual good way to play.
Yeah. If it were used to a larger extent, I would say like we kind of need a more seamless way. But at the same time, when we did it, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That would be. I'm gonna switch my correction and say that let's make a model of the Switch where there's no border on one side of the screen and make more public games like that, so both screens are actually seamlessly touching each other, and you can make like a full court like for sports games, or like just more multiplayer games that you can go out and do Switches like that to make it more couch co-op but on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing that like for the Switch Lite will be impossible to do. Like we can't do the Super Mario Party stuff.
Actually, you couldn't play Mario Party.
Yeah.
With friends on that,
you can't play it. Period.
Yeah, because
you can't play Mario Party handheld.
Oh yeah, because there's no motion controls.
Yeah, I mean you can play it. You would just need separate Joy-Cons.
Well,
and set it up like on a table.
Yeah,
because
does
it have a kickstand?
Yeah, I imagine it.
No.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It does not.
I imagine it's like a 2DS, like the flat 2DS.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that
they were talking about how you'd be able to play 1-2 Switch on it and stuff.
How? That's so confusing.
There was some specific stuff about that. I'm sure there's a way to set it up.
There's gotta be.
Well,
we're looking for a kickstand as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Pants is looking for a kickstand.
There is no kickstand on the Switch Lite.
No?
No.
Is that an official photo?
Yeah, this is the Pokemon one. There is no kickstand on that.
Then how do you play 1-2 Switch on it?
Then you put up, just like you would set your phone up somewhere. Get a book
it's
and put it against that.
Well, it's gotta come with, you know how the Wii U tablet had that little weird like holster?
Oh, a dock?
Yeah,
maybe.
It's gotta have some sort of...
I wonder if it has like a charging dock with it or something that you could like plug it into.
And I'm sure it's gonna come with like snap around cases and stuff that have like.
Oh yeah, well that's
as well.
third party things. But.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. It's just it's not going to happen.
It's just not built into
more
the
of a
system.
hassle.
Yeah.
You gotta pay the extra
Ooh,
$50 that you're saving.
Look at us discovering things for ourselves.
Yeah, but here's my thing with the Switch Lite. If you're getting a Switch Lite, you're getting a handheld gaming system.
I'm aware.
You're not getting it to play 1-2 Switch. People who own a regular Switch aren't playing 1-2 Switch. We did once, and that was it.
That game is gone.
And in all honesty, like
you don't get rid of games very often.
And I don't get rid of games very often. That's very true.
And Mario Party, like you could get separate Joy-Cons and play it, but I think you just want to find somebody you know who owns a Switch,
right,
and play it on theirs on the TV.
Yeah, that's why I don't have Smash. I'm probably gonna get Smash because of the Dragon Quest characters now, but I didn't have it because everyone I know has it. So
yeah. The Switch Lite, in all honesty, does a lot of upgrades that I think the Switch needed for certain people. Because there are certain people who are only going to play it handheld, who were, 3DS owners who I want a handheld Nintendo system. And they're going to get it.
Do you think the Switch Lite is leading more to almost like single-player games as well? Because, I mean, like we were discussing, it's a lot harder to play Mario Party on something like that. It would be a lot harder to play Smash Bros. On something like that. This would be like a system that someone goes and plays The Witcher with, or Zelda with, or...
It'll do multiplayer stuff a lot like any other handheld system would.
Right, but I'm saying Nintendo's famously known for like all your friends get on the couch, you guys smash, you guys play Kirby 4-player co-op, you guys.
There's been so many games though that like everybody plays with their own Switch though. Even if somebody has a
think about like when Crystal Chronicles comes out.
Yeah.
Like you'd still be able to play that multiplayer with the Switch.
And like Splatoon would still work.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about like Marvel and stuff.
Because Marvel you can do multiple systems too.
Oh, can you? I thought it was just couch.
A lot of them have that option.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's really just a cheaper thing for someone who doesn't care to play it on their TV.
Yeah.
So.
And finally, let's do a little bit of a throwback. The best-selling system of all time.
The Game Boy?
Was the PlayStation 2.
The DS. The Sega Dreamcast!
The PlayStation 2.
I have one big complaint about this.
Let's fix the PlayStation 2. How do we fix it?
Okay, so when the PS2 came out, one of its biggest selling points was it's a DVD player.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like, think about it, because DVD players were super expensive at the time.
It was my exclusive DVD player for a long time.
Here's the thing. This happened to me. I know it happened to other people. Playing DVD videos in it burned out the drive.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never experienced
Within a year of me getting my PS2 died. And I had to get another one. This was the fat one. Like the original PS2. I never played DVDs on that new one. Never had a problem. It was an issue for other people, too. I was not the only one. This was not like an isolated incident. So if you're going to market this thing as a DVD player... work out the bugs so you can actually use it as a DVD player and it doesn't like ruin the system.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because then everybody went for the PS3 with the Blu-ray player then too. That's kind of interesting.
I don't think I've ever owned a DVD player ever because of the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox.
And the PS4 is, and the Xbox now are the best Blu-ray players that exist.
Oh yeah,
they're so good.
Oh yeah.
Well, Xbox I have an issue with. There's actually. I don't know if it's specific kinds of Blu-rays like the cheap ones, but the Xbox One will not register them. It'll say, please put in an actual disc.
I've noticed that happens when if I put it in too early or something.
Yeah, their Blu-ray player is very finicky.
Yeah, if I put it in and then it says that, I just pull it out, put it back in, and it loads all by itself.
It's like a credit card reader. It's like, no,
really
you swipe too fast. Hold on.
Yeah,
Bad credit card. Please take out your credit card.
I keep worrying, oh my God, am I breaking my Xbox One? But no, I think that's just a common issue.
Yeah.
My PlayStation 2, whenever I'd play like a dual layer DVD, and it would hit that second layer, it would skip or just stop playing completely.
That was an issue.
Yeah.
Because Champions of Norath Return to Arms.
Oh my God. Such a good game. That game's so expensive now. It's like
I know,
$50.
But it was a dual layer DVD, and when you played it after so long, it was just like, nope, don't want this.
And that's so sad. So my brother and I emptied about 30 hours into that game, and we were close to the end, and there was some kind of issue with the dual layer, but also the amount of drops in the game. The more stuff you left dropped in the world, it always stayed there. So when something was down on the ground, it was 4 levels back, and you can go there and go pick it up if you wanted.
Wow.
Still. And it kept everything loaded in the RAM so much that
it just slow down.
No, it would just it would
break.
It would it would just break halfway through. It would shut down. Yeah. And so that game was ruined for that reason. So yeah.
That's so sad. The one thing I would fix, I have two things for the PlayStation 2. For the fat model, the original model, Kind of like how the GameCube also had it. Like, consoles have the big plate on the back that covers, like, the additional add-on you would do. So, the PlayStation, it was, like, the internet part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that those are hideous. I don't think they're very aesthetically pleasing. And a lot of people use the PlayStation 1 to put in, like, a hard drive just to download a bunch of ROMs to their PlayStation and hack it.
And it was also hard drive space for Final Fantasy 11.
That too. That was like the only game I knew that used it.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew they were thinking ahead of time. But I mean, I know in this generation, it's like, we'll make a new iteration of the console. We'll make a new iteration. Now there's the new consoles coming out. They had to have known they were making a PlayStation 3 at some point. Like, this wasn't going to be the one-all be-all console. Why would they think about putting such add-ons on that never came out? Like, the GameCube did it too. Like, the GameCube had a back thing. That 64 had it for the disc drive that never worked. Like,
it came out in Japan, though.
It did, but it failed completely.
Right, but it at least was available there. The GameCube, I'm pretty sure there is something that used every port on that.
Well, the bottom was for the Game Boy thing.
Yeah, the bottom was for that and the modem.
Yeah, there was a modem adapter. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I had one.
Right. You had a modem adapter?
I got one.
For what game?
For what?
Phantasy Star.
So they made one complete add-on for a console for one game.
Yeah. 2 games, Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2, and Phantasy Star Online 3. 2 games.
And someone did.
But you said 1, 2, and 3, and you held up 2 fingers.
Someone did homebrew Mario Kart Double Dash. Yeah, for online.
I also feel like
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
There was something else too that used it, but I don't remember what it was.
I just feel like it's underutilized, so it wasn't necessary.
It was.
I mean, it's a hindsight thing probably, but that's what this is, fixing hindsight.
Right.
The other thing is, the slim PlayStation 2 should have never existed. That thing was a piece of garbage. The silver, mainly the silver one.
No, there's 2 versions of the slim. There's one that's all matte and one that's glossy and matte. There's a version 2 and a version 3 of the PlayStation.
Do they both work the same way? Like,
I have no idea.
You open the top of it and you put the disc in and close it?
I think. I don't remember.
Well, they're both garbage because, one, the Laserdisc reader on it is so flimsy it'll break so easily. And 2, I've owned 3 of them. And the third one I bought at a flea market, and I was like, I came back, had the same issue that they all have, which is the RGB cables in the back that plugs into the PlayStation part is never held in all the way.
Ooh.
So 60% of the probably more, you'll never get a picture, and you're like, what's going on with my PlayStation? And you got to wiggle the cord in the back of the console until you have a picture, and then put your wallet underneath it to prop it up just so your console works. Awful. Should never exist. If you have one of those, I'm sorry.
See, now this is the fun fact then. Because I never played DVDs on my fat PS2,
yeah,
my fat PS2 works to this day.
Mine does too.
Like, I played it I think last month I booted up Xenosaga 1 to play it just because it was like, I kind of feel like trying this out.
The last game I played on my PlayStation 2 was The Bouncer, which
game.
we gotta play.
Yeah.
So, the games that used the network adapter.
For the GameCube?
For the PlayStation.
PlayStation.
I'll tell you what, I'll look up
once
GameCube.
Final Fantasy
No, I
11.
have the GameCube one here too. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was released with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and supported network adapter.
Did you just download more music?
No, not the hard drive, just the network adapter to play online. We're talking about the hard drive.
Oh, you're talking specifically about the hard drive?
Yeah.
Or you want hard drive stuff?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of games then.
Because I could ramble off a lot.
ESPN, NFL 2K5, NBA.
The hard drive?
Yeah.
For what?
To improve replays.
All right.
Yeah, Metal Saga, MLB, NBA, NHL,
pretty much
RPG
all
Maker
sports,
3, Resident Evil Outbreak.
Why?
To reduce load times. SOCOM 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
The Street Fighter Alpha Anthology.
Uh-huh.
The Herbs, Sims in the City, and the Sims.
Yeah! Herbs
Wow.
Herbs is all about me.
And then in Japan, a ton more games.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like a ridiculous number of games.
Okay, so...
Yeah, for the GameCube.
What used the broadband adapter on that?
What, the GameCube?
Yeah.
Kirby's Air Ride.
What?
1080 Avalanche, and Mario Kart Double Dash. It was LAN support.
Oh, LAN support. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you could play, but it still used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I gotta play Kirby.
Yeah,
Air
the
Ride
only
with
ones
LAN
that they actually made to play over the internet was Phantasy Star, but people did mod 1080 Kirby's Air Ride and Mario Kart Double Dash to play on.
Because the LAN support, there was at least a framework.
Yeah,
in
it was there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And there are private servers still continuing today, I guess, for Phantasy Star.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have a huge following.
Phantasy Star 2 is coming out at some point.
Yeah, and it's gonna be on what's it called, the Xbox service, the streaming service for games.
Yeah,
it's gonna be on there.
Cool.
And if it's not on PlayStation, I'm getting it on Xbox with that service.
I'm gonna try it out because it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
so we just fixed everything, guys.
We did.
Well, maybe not. If you're listening to this, comment and tell us what you would have fixed, whether it's in the YouTube video or send us an email or some comment on some of our social media. We're Nerdstrodamus1412@gmail.com. But speaking of games we want to play, let's talk about the games we did play this month.
Woo.
So Ted, let's start with you.
Well, I haven't been on the show for a while, and everyone knows that I'm a big Dragon Quest fan. And I finally beat Dragon Quest XI.
Yay!
I 100% got the Platinum Trophy.
Wow.
Did everything in it.
That's impressive.
It was super fun. I'm level 99 with all characters. And you think the game ends at one point, and then it says, you know what? No. How about you fix this mess that happened and play for another 20 hours?
That feels like Tales of the Abyss.
Loves JRPGs.
It was
only a JRPG, really.
It's an interesting concept because I think people compare it a lot to, I think it's Final Fantasy VI, where technically when you beat the game, technically the first time, there's 3 acts. You don't necessarily have to play the 3rd act. Act 2, a lot of people are content with. It's like, I don't want to play another 20 hours. I think I beat the game. I like this ending. Where technically the bad guy won, but then you go beat the bad guy, and it's kind of like left off of like people trying to rebuild the world of what happened.
Yeah.
So Act 3 is basically stopping Act 2 from happening, pretty much.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it's
Final Fantasy VI
interesting.
definitely had the Act 2 situation.
Right.
So that's good.
So there's a
Not
lot of
the Act
comparison
3.
to that, and also they make like a timeline for Dragon Quest with this game, kind of.
Oh.
So it links it to the first 3 Dragon Quest.
Oh, cool.
That's
So-
awesome.
Where does it take place? Because I know 3 is technically the
It's-
first of those 3.
It's kind of like Breath of the Wild. This is the origin.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first one ever. Then it goes to 3. Then it's 1 and 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
Awesome.
yeah, it's cool. They show like 3D models of like the timeline of like other characters.
Oh, that's
at
really
some
cool.
point. It's
Whoa.
really fan servicey. If you guys love Dragon Quest, if you love JRPGs,
I'm probably gonna pick up the Switch version.
I want to. They're adding more to it.
Yeah.
I wish they would just put that as DLC in the PlayStation
And
version.
the kind of like Mode 7 graphics, like
Yeah.
you know, kind of stuff looks amazing. So
Yeah.
I
I highly
that gets my
encourage it.
vote.
If you can switch it on the fly with a button press, that'd
That'd be even better. But
Probably
there's
could.
almost no way to do that.
yeah. There's some games that have done that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo.
I was gonna say there was an R-Type game on the Xbox that did that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome.
That was really cool. Remember the first time I did, I was like, "This is amazing."
Mm-hmm.
Lambo, I know a lot of what you've been playing.
Well, oh god. If I go back a couple of months, Trover Saves the Universe. Buy it. Play it. It's so amazing.
Buy it on disc so you can lend it to your friends.
I'm
Lambo.
so sorry.
It's mature though.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's really mature, but I laughed constantly through it. I don't laugh on my own. I'm not one of those LOL people. I just don't. But man, that made me like break out in hysterics.
If you're a Rick and Morty fan, you owe it to yourself to play this
You
game.
must.
And even if you don't have VR, you can still play.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
That's
but
what I was gonna
But
ask.
the VR experience,
It's
it's good.
yeah. No, you
It's
let me
really
try it. It was
immersive.
fun. Yeah.
And I can't even like say any of my favorite lines from the thing because it's so horrible.
That's true.
But you do get choices in the game. I will say that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
one of the fun parts is that like for a lot of the ends of the things, you actually get like a choice to do something really horrible or not. And you got to do the horrible thing. Like
It's the
no,
more
you
creative
don't.
side.
yeah.
You don't have to do the horrible thing.
But you do.
can- yeah.
No, you don't.
But you do.
Yeah, like
But you
at
don't.
the end of the first level, you get like a moral choice between like the 2 villains, pretty much, and because even the one you think is like a good guy is actually sort of like evil as well, and so you get to choose which one dies. It's a lot of fun. Mario Maker, of course.
Yeah.
I've been emptying a ton of time into that. I've been playing some Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We've been streaming that.
Yep.
And I got, in Spider-Man PS4 I played last month as well.
Fallout.
And Fallout. Oh, and
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't like not say
Oh, yeah,
Fallout.
sorry. Yeah.
That's like every night for you guys.
Yeah, it has been. Like once they announced the stuff at E3, like
Yeah.
we got back into playing it, and
because I want to make sure we're ready to go now. So.
And the funny thing is like around that time, about a month and a half ago, I was level 30. I'm now up to like level 65.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, we're past the technical level cap in the game. Yeah, it's kind of 50. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, because you don't get any more items or anything that like require you to be higher than level 50 to use them.
Do you like get more stats still as you level up?
No, so actually, once you hit 50, you have the choice to either move one of your stat points from one stat to another, or get another perk card. But you can't, unlike Fallout 4, where you could max out everything, you can't in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's because of other people being involved.
Right. It's actually kind of nice because
I do foresee them raising the level cap if they do the Wastelanders thing, because they're gonna need some way to challenge you.
Right.
I think because we've come across people who literally are like level 280.
Right.
Like that high.
And at that point, like, what's the bonus?
Yeah.
Like, do you just have so many perk cards or what?
Yeah.
You basically own every perk card.
Every perk card.
Yeah. But you can't use them all to their fullest extent because every time you level up, you can only move 1 point between.
Right.
And you can't equip every perk card. Like I focused a lot in intelligence because that was a lot of the crafting stuff. I can't have all my crafting cards equipped because they take up too much space.
Oh wow.
So if I want to craft armor, I have to put my armor ones in and then swap them out when I want to do weapons.
And I'm primarily melee now.
Yeah, so
As
he
you should be.
I love it.
He's melee. I'm
punching Yao Guai.
I'm so ranged and craft. I just make him fun things. Which I have a fun fire axe for you later.
Nice.
My favorite thing is just be like, what can I do with this melee weapon to make it more ridiculous? My favorite thing was a baseball bat that I added rocket boosters to. Rocket powered baseball bat just for funsies.
Oh yeah.
No surprise, I've been playing Fallout 76 also. That's actually been mostly what I've been playing. Now, at the time of this recording, Fire Emblem Three Houses did come out 2 days ago. I have, of course, played that. I love it because it basically does take Persona, mixes it with Fire Emblem, and instead of playing one of the students like in a Persona game, I'm a teacher, which is really interesting because rather than making sure I'm studying and whatnot, I have to plan out lessons. And like students come to you and ask you like for extra help and everything.
Pants, that's your day job is being a teacher.
Yes,
I love being a teacher for work and for play.
Yes, but at least I'm teaching students who want to learn.
Whoa, shots fired.
No.
Dark.
Plus, rather than spending 8 hours a day in school and then going home and grading papers and everything, it's literally like 20 minutes of okay, I'm going to teach this, and this. Go.
Well, then you're going to be spending 8 hours in real school to go home and spend 20 more minutes in school.
Yes, exactly.
This is true. My only complaint with Fire Emblem is the character models and everything don't look as nice as I'd like them to. They're not as smooth. And like I've noticed with some characters, like in handheld mode specifically, like there's lines around their facial features sometimes. So like I looked at a character and I thought she was wearing glasses, but it was just like the model like lost fidelity, and I could see like
the jaggedness.
Oh, that's weird.
I heard they went the super cell shade. It's almost like I've only seen screen caps, but kind of like Borderlands stuff like that, right? Isn't it like kind of moving towards, except it's a lot shinier.
I was gonna say more along the lines of like Tales of Vesperia or something.
Yeah, like the Tales games kind of.
Yeah,
that makes a little more
sense. It looks nice. I don't mind it because it looks better than the 3DS ones by a long shot. I mean, at least the characters have feet now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at Awakening.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. And with that, let's talk about what's coming out that we're looking forward to. Guys, the big one.
Madden?
No, Fortnite Season 10!
Oh, okay.
Actually, it'll probably be out around the same time this podcast hits.
Oh, nice.
I don't care.
No,
I don't either.
But the other big one. Madden.
I'm going to end up picking it up probably on Black Friday when it's half off. Like, it's crazy to me that people will pay $60 now to get it. And then in literally 2 months, it's going to be half off. They do it every year.
But there's people who get it now, and there's still tournaments running and everything for it. And that's the game they play, so they have to get it day one.
Right.
So I understand it, but also just some people are so into football, they want to play along with the football season and stuff, so. My thing with it is I'm sitting here and I'm like, football. Madden 20, and I'm like, didn't we get Madden 30 or 35? Like,
yeah, for the anniversary they did.
Yeah, it was.
They replaced it with, I think it was 18. It was like 17 or 18 was replaced with Madden 35.
Yeah, I know. It drove me crazy. This one I didn't know was coming out, and I'm super excited for it. Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
Oh, yeah?
Did they really just XD face on their title?
Yeah.
First of all, do you guys know what this game is?
No.
I mean, it looks like robots.
Okay, it's mechs.
Yeah.
It was a mech game on the Xbox. It was like a cult hit.
Yeah.
You're the president of the United States getting in a giant robot and fighting off, like, oppression.
Did they update the model for the president?
The original president model was not who the president was at the time, because I think it was Bush, and, like, no way that was Bush.
Wow.
But, yeah, that's coming out, and I'm a little excited for that. We've got Oninaki.
I'm actually kind of excited for that. I have to really choose which JRPGs I jump into, though.
There is a demo out.
Yeah.
So try the demo.
Yeah. Apparently, it's more action RPG-ish.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So that might actually be more completable than some of the other Tokyo RPG Factory games.
Maybe, yeah.
So.
And of course, I forgot to list what these are coming out for. Metal Wolf Chaos XD is coming out on pretty much everything but Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oninaki is coming out on pretty much everything but Xbox. World of Warcraft Classic, which some people are really excited for.
Wasn't there already like a download for that before?
That's what I thought too, but no, it's got a release date of August 27th. I'm wondering if it was a beta or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
or maybe it was illegal.
Maybe. Oh, there was a fan run one. That might be what you're thinking of. But Probably. This is like officially World of Warcraft. Like, this is Blizzard going back to Classic. That's coming out on PC August 27th.
Please support the official release.
Yeah. Blair Witch, which
I didn't realize that was coming out so soon. The trailer for E3, I mean, it just came out.
That makes me think it's not going to be anything super amazing.
I'm waiting to see what happens with that. I can expect it to be garbage, or it could be something really special.
I mean, it was a cool, surprise when they showed it off because it's just going to be fun. But we'll see how it is. I mean, it is coming out in time for a nice Halloween stream if you guys are down or whatever.
Well, always.
Or we could just play more Dead by Daylight.
I still have one in the bank that it could just be this year's Halloween.
It could be. And of course, the big one for me is Astral Chain.
That's something I might pick up. Is there any kind of demo they've announced or anything for it, or no?
Not yet.
No?
They might. They did a demo for Bayonetta 2 when that came out.
Okay.
And I know there was like a demo for Nier. So Platinum has a habit of releasing demos. There isn't anything out yet, but it also doesn't come out for over a month as of this recording because it's August 30th. Whereas like Oninaki, like the demo just got released for that.
Right.
So we could see an Astral Chain one pop up. So I'll of course let you know.
Right.
Because my eyes are focused on that.
Yeah.
And that's a Switch exclusive.
Nice.
By Platinum. So.
Yeah, and just be ready for Pokemon Masters on your phone as well. Yeah. That's coming up by the end of the month as well.
Yeah.
I'm holding off to see what it's like before I jump in.
Oh, I know. That's the other one game, of course.
What?
Dr. Mario.
That already came out, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Dr. Mario World.
It's so good.
Yeah, I played it. It's okay. It's okay.
It's so good.
It's a mobile game, so I'm like we did an entire episode of mobile games. I just don't play them.
You guys got to do another one. Nintendo's in this game now, the mobiles, and they had the Mario Kart beta. Now they're having Dr. Mario World. And I think it's overdue for another hashtag mobile gaming episode.
Mobile gaming.
If you'd like to see us do another mobile gaming episode, comment and let us know.
Mobile gaming.
Anyway, I think that wraps up this August podcast for Nerdstrodamus. Unless you guys have anything else to.
No.
Eat meatloaf for every meal. I had cheesecake for breakfast yesterday. We can do whatever we want because we're adults.
And with that, this has been the August podcast of Nerdstrodamus. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, smash that like button if you're watching this on YouTube. Ring the little bell, all that crap. Follow us on all the social medias. We're Nerdstrodamus, except for Twitter. We're Nerdstrodamus DL for down low. But for Nerdstrodamus, I'm Dr. Pants.
Lambo.
And I finally made it.
We will catch you some other time.